There are moments when you see a machine and your mind hesitates. Not because you do not understand what it is, but because it feels like it should not exist. That is the exact feeling this machine delivers before you even take a full step toward it. Before we go any further, if you enjoy deep cinematic stories about extreme cars and unapologetic design, take a second and subscribe now, because this channel is built for people who want more than surface-level reviews. Now, let us begin. The first time you stand in front of the 2026 Lamborghini Huracan SUV, your brain tries to correct your eyes. It reminds you that this name belongs to a supercar. Low, sharp, untouchable, and yet here it stands. Tall enough to challenge convention, wide enough to intimidate it. This is not Lamborghini experiment. This is Lamborghini declaring intent. Cloaked in matte black, the vehicle does not shine. It absorbs. Light disappears into its surfaces. Angles become more aggressive. Shadows deepen. It does not look parked. It looks restrained. From a distance, it feels like a vision rather than a vehicle. Something imagined rather than engineered. A form born where rebellion overrides restraint. There is something mythic about it, like a predator that has learned to wear luxury as camouflage. And once you are close enough, you realize this is not an SUV pretending to be exciting. This is excitement that happens to sit higher off the ground. The stance alone tells you everything. Wide, planted, confident. This machine does not need motion to communicate speed. It looks fast even when silent. The front end carries no friendliness, no welcome, no softness. It stares back at you. The nose sits low and stretched forward, tense like a muscle ready to contract. Every surface feels sharpened, not styled but carved. The hood flows forward with long, dramatic contours. Not decorative, purposeful. It visually pulls the mass of the vehicle downward, tricking your perception, making the proportions feel illegal. This does not look like something designed to climb curbs or glide over potholes. It looks designed to attack asphalt. Your eyes are drawn immediately to the headlights. Thin, predatory, precise. They do not feel ornamental. They feel surgical. These lights do not illuminate the road politely. They interrogate it. They give the impression that the road must earn the right to be driven on. Every crease along the front fascia feels intentional, not just aerodynamic, symbolic, as if Lamborghini was carving a statement into metal. A message that says this vehicle refuses to be ordinary. If you're enjoying this level of storytelling, subscribe now, because what follows only gets more intense. The lower front section is pure aggression. Large air intakes dominate the design. Layered, stacked, commanding. Air is not guided here. It is ordered. There is no softness anywhere. No wasted surface. Even the grille feels like it could bite. And then you notice how low the splitter sits, nearly brushing the ground. This is not a design that tolerates speed bumps. This is a design that challenges them. It signals intent. This machine was not built for comfort first. It was built for dominance. Step back and take in the entire front profile. The width becomes undeniable. The shoulders flare outward, giving it a bull-like presence, a stance that suggests unstoppable momentum. The wheels fill the arches completely. Dark, massive, wrapped in performance rubber that looks stretched tight. Even standing still, it feels coiled, like it is holding back something violent. And then there's the paint. Matte black here is not a color. It is a personality. Under lights, it does not glow. It does not sparkle. It absorbs everything around it, turning reflections into shadows. It feels stealthy, menacing, elegant in the most intimidating way. When parked, it looks like it is waiting, not resting. When imagined in motion, it does not glide. It stalks. Lamborghini has always understood that design is emotion. And here that philosophy reaches another level. This is not a vehicle meant to blend into traffic. It is meant to disrupt it. Now imagine turning the key. The engine wakes not with a polite sound, but with a growl. Deep, guttural, alive. The sound carries weight, presence. It does not just announce power. It announces intention. Rev it and the note sharpens. Rises. Becomes something primal. This is not sound designed for refinement. It is sound designed to stir something inside you. Lamborghini understands something many brands forget. Sound is emotion, and this machine speaks loudly. On the road, it does not merge quietly. It arrives. The hybrid twin-turbo V8 delivers power in waves. Strong, immediate, relentless. Acceleration is not gentle. It is decisive. The vehicle does not build speed. It claims it. What should feel heavy feels controlled. What should feel tall feels grounded. Corners that should cause hesitation become moments of confidence. The chassis works with the driver, not against them. Grip feels abundant, predictable, assuring. The wide track and aggressive stance finally makes sense. This is not designed for show. This is designed doing its job. Now step inside. You do not enter a cabin. You enter a cockpit. Everything feels angled toward the driver. Focused, purpose-built. The seating position is commanding yet connected. You sit lower than expected. Anchored. Materials surround you with intent. Carbon fiber. Alcantara. Metal. Nothing feels decorative. Everything feels functional. The interior does not try to relax you. It tries to awaken you. Hexagonal patterns repeat across surfaces. A visual reminder that this machine belongs to a lineage built on sharp edges and bold decisions. The matte black theme continues inside, broken only by red accents that feel like a heartbeat. Sit behind the wheel and the outside world fades. You feel less like a commuter, more like a pilot awaiting clearance. Technology is present but restrained. Screens serve the drive, not distract from it. The digital cluster adapts to your behavior. Calm when cruising, aggressive when pushed. Every switch click, every paddle pull feels mechanical, deliberate. You are constantly reminded. This is not just an SUV wearing a famous name. This is something else, something that refuses classification. And this is where many misunderstand it. They ask why it exists. They search for logic, but logic was never the goal. This machine exists because someone refused to play safe, because someone believed passion should not be diluted, even when practicality enters the conversation. This is Lamborghini reminding the world who they are. If you appreciate machines that refuse compromise, subscribe now, because part 2 goes deeper into what this machine represents. In the next part, we explore how it behaves in different worlds: city, mountains, track, and why its greatest strength is not speed, but the feeling it leaves behind. When you are ready, say, I will deliver the next 1,000 plus words. Even more emotional, even more cinematic, perfectly aligned with your channel voice. If you stayed with me until now, you already understand something important. This machine is not about numbers. It is about emotion. And if you enjoy stories that go deeper than horsepower charts and brochure claims, take a moment and subscribe, because this channel exists for people who want to feel what machines are trying to say. Now, let us continue. The true character of the 2026 Lamborghini Huracan SUV reveals itself the moment it starts moving. At low speeds, it does not try to impress. It does not surge or shout. It simply rolls forward with confidence. There is tension in its movement, a sense that something powerful is being restrained. The suspension feels firm but intelligent, not punishing, not soft. It communicates the road without overwhelming you. Every surface you pass over is felt, but never in a way that breaks comfort. This is not a vehicle that floats above reality. It presses into it. As speed increases, something unexpected happens. The illusion of size disappears. What should feel tall begins to feel grounded. What should feel heavy begins to feel agile. The steering becomes the key to understanding this transformation. It is precise, immediate, honest. There is no delay between thought and action. You turn the wheel and the front responds instantly. It feels less like guiding a large vehicle and more like aiming a blade. This is where you realize Lamborghini did not simply tune an SUV. They re-engineered expectations. As velocity builds, the aerodynamics come alive. The aggressive lines begin to work together. The front stays planted. The body remains composed. Air flows over the hood and around the sides with intent, not chaos. The wide stance proves its purpose. Tires grip with authority, refusing to surrender even when pushed. Corners that would intimidate other SUVs become moments of confidence. You enter with hesitation and exit with a grin. The Huracan SUV does not ask you to slow down. It dares you to trust it. Now imagine the sound in motion. Not just noise, presence. The engine note carries depth, texture, emotion. It does not scream constantly. It speaks when needed. Under acceleration, it unleashes a growl that feels mechanical and alive. A reminder that this machine was built with passion rather than restraint. There's a rawness to it, a metallic edge that sends a message to everyone nearby. This is not background noise. This is an announcement. On open roads, the Huracan SUV does not blend into traffic. It changes the atmosphere. Cars move aside, heads turn, conversations pause. It does not demand attention. It takes it. The hybrid twin-turbo V8 delivers power with confidence. Not sudden, not unpredictable. Acceleration feels controlled yet aggressive, like a powerful force being guided rather than unleashed. The vehicle does not surge forward. It launches. Straight roads feel shorter. Time compresses. You are not rushing. You are advancing. This is not speed for shock value. This is speed with purpose. And yet what makes this machine truly special is not how fast it moves, but how it makes you feel while doing it. Inside the cockpit, the outside world fades. The driving position reinforces that feeling. You sit connected, anchored, engaged. The wheel feels alive in your hands. Every small input matters. The interior surrounds you without overwhelming you. Materials feel deliberate, strong, functional. Carbon fiber surfaces remind you this is not decoration. It is structure. Alcantara softens where comfort is needed, but never distracts from mission. Red accents pulse subtly, like a heartbeat, a reminder that performance lives beneath the surface. The digital displays adapt naturally. They do not shout. They respond. In relaxed driving, they remain calm and composed. When pushed, they transform, becoming sharper, more focused. Every control feels mechanical. Every action intentional. There is satisfaction in every interaction, a sense that nothing was added without reason. This interior does not pamper. It empowers. And that philosophy carries into every environment this machine enters. In the city, it becomes a presence. People stop mid-step. Eyes follow. Phones rise. It turns streets into stages. It never feels out of place. It owns its environment. In tighter urban settings, the steering remains manageable. The power stays controlled. It behaves without losing character. Take it to open roads, and it stretches its legs. The engine breathes. The chassis relaxes into speed. Mountain roads reveal another layer. Here the balance becomes obvious. Despite its size, it changes direction with confidence. It stays composed through elevation changes. It grips through corners that should challenge it. The weight distribution feels calculated. The suspension adapts. The brakes inspire trust. And on a track where limits reveal truth, the Huracan SUV surprises everyone. It dives into corners with aggression, holds its line, exits with stability and force. It reminds you that its name carries heritage, that it belongs to a bloodline built on performance. But beyond all of this, beyond speed, handling, and design, there is something deeper. This machine carries spirit. It refuses to belong to categories. It does not compete with rivals. It exists beyond them. Other brands build SUVs that aim to please, to balance, to satisfy markets. This one aims to express. It is Lamborghini saying we will not dilute passion, even when form changes. This is not a supercar disguised as an SUV, and not an SUV pretending to be a supercar. It is something else entirely, something unapologetic. That is why reactions are so strong. Some admire, some criticize, but no one ignores it. And that is power. The emotional experience lingers long after the drive ends. When you step out, close the door, and walk away, you turn back, not because you forgot something, but because it left an impression. This machine makes you feel untouchable, not invincible, but elevated, like you briefly stepped outside the ordinary world. Driving it feels like commanding something alive, something that responds not just to inputs, but to intent. This is not transportation. It is transformation. It does not take you somewhere. It changes how you feel getting there. That is why it matters. In an industry obsessed with efficiency and compromise, this machine chooses emotion. It tells the world that passion still has a place. That boldness is not obsolete. That risk still matters. If you believe cars should make you feel something, subscribe now, because this channel exists for machines like this. The 2026 Lamborghini Huracan SUV is not for everyone, and it was never meant to be. It is for those who see driving as expression, for those who choose feeling over conformity. It is for dreamers, for rebels, for those who believe roads are not just paths, but stages. When you press the ignition and feel the vibration travel through the cabin, something shifts inside you. The world feels sharper. Time feels compressed. The story begins with a growl and ends with a memory. That is the magic of Lamborghini. That is the legacy carried forward. And in this form, higher, wider, darker, it has not been diluted. It has been reborn, more intense, more confident, more unapologetic than ever. Some machines fade into the background. This one carves itself into memory. Stay with the channel. More stories like this are coming. More machines that challenge logic. More designs that refuse to play safe. Because the best cars are not always the most sensible. They are the ones you never forget.